Here's a couple of user-friendly modifications you might consider for the PM-25. I've had it for a little over 2 years, been very happy with it, but I've made some things, or I changed some things to make it more user-friendly for me. The first thing I did was a column drive made out of a wiper motor because the crank is way up on the top and it interferes with the monitor for the DRO, just like yours. I get tired of cranking it, so I put a motor on it with a power supply and a little box. The other big thing that I found helpful is I replaced the small aluminum crank handle. This is a 6-inch cast iron wheel. It's available on eBay. It is listed as a Bridgeport milling handle, and I can get these rotating metal handles on eBay as well. I put a 6-inch on the table drive here, and I put a 4.5-inch on the front table. This makes a tremendous difference when you're milling. The larger diameter and the weight of the wheel gives you a much more even hand milling operation. Again, they're about 15 or 20 bucks on eBay, and the handle is about 5 or 6. The other thing I think you might consider is I made these masonite panels to cover the table. I leave my vise in the center, more accurate milling, and it's easier. But this is just a piece of masonite with some strips on the bottom and some non-rusting shelf liner. And the strips of wood simply fit into the tracks on the table. And this is a lot easier to clean. And if you drop something, it doesn't, you don't crack an end mill and you don't damage the table. A couple of other little things are a shield. Fly cutting or doing something, you often make a mess. This is just a piece of wood with a piece of plexiglass and a couple of computer magnets on the bottom. And I can simply attach it when I'm milling, and it keeps the, the shrapnel from hitting me in the face or the arm. You can move it around, and you can remove it and put it on the side if you don't need it. Another thing of interest is a little speed handle for the vise that I got. This is just a piece of aluminum with a socket pressed into the center and a couple of bolts with some brass knurled end pieces. Simply insert it, and it is a lot easier to move the vise than the dog bone. And you can use the dog bone to knock it down or really secure it if you want to. And one other little thing is those little pot handles that came with the PM-25. They get in the way, they get broken. So I took a piece of an inch or so brass, turned it down, put a bolt through it, and it's big enough that just finger tight you can lock the table and you don't need to crank down on it. And those little pot metal handles, they both broke. So when you've got a motor drive, they get in the way. Anyway, just a couple of little things you might consider after you've had it for a while. It's been a good machine. I got rid of that plastic guard on the front and simply use this, which is movable and a bit more user-friendly. Okay, take care. Thank you.